So Sexy Seance. I am your host, the Empress Red. So it has been about a month since I've posted, since the last time I did an episode, and it's just been very transformational, and there's been a lot going on with the collective and also with myself with interpersonal relationships. There's been a lot of conflict. There's been a lot of strange revelations. I know that I have been dealing with some old relationships that really run their course, and yet there's still these little stragglers of conflict that have been interesting trying to overcome. And so it's been kind of a quiet period for me. I know a lot of people have seen that I've gotten real quiet on social media. I've been kind of posting a lot more lately as far as memes and everything is concerned, but in general I've quieted down some, and it's because I've been busy. You can't be on social media or online 100% of the time, right? And then also with the weather getting nicer, I've been trying to get out more, which is what we should all be doing, right? So I hope everybody's doing okay with last night's full moon in Libra. It's a good time. Now Libra, we tend to think of Libra as more of a fun placement, but when the moon goes into Libra, it also means that you're calling for your own personal freedom, your own personal liberation, right? And so this is something I think a lot of people are going through, where we're looking for a certain amount of spiritual liberation, and we are seeing it not only in ourselves and our personal relationships, but we're also seeing it, of course, as a collective. And right now conflict is at an all-time high, as we can see with what is happening around the world and with the government. And we're all struggling. Everybody's struggling right now. Everybody's broke, everybody's depressed, and looking for some beacon of hope. So I hope that you're able to take last night's full moon and release some of that tension that you've had, and that some of that uncertainty, and that you're able to move past that and let things go. So what's next? I still have some things going on. I do want to put together maybe a more cohesive podcast later in the week. As you can see, I'm in an undisclosed location. That is not my actual studio. And so I have had a very difficult time finding time to actually sit and stage in my regular space in order to do my podcast. And it's part of it is because I've been moving. I've been in a state of transition just like everybody else, and as things calm down, I will get back to a point where I'm able to start casting from there. Or of course the locations are going to change sometimes when I have guests, and I will have a couple of guests later this week, so I've got some stuff that's very exciting. But also I've been working a lot, and I think a lot of people have. We're all just trying to get by. So I put this on pause for just a moment, and now I'm starting to pick things back up again. So I just wanted to hit some very kind of important notes. I decided to pull a card, and I pulled a card right before I started doing my podcast. And normally I would prefer to pull a card maybe like during the podcast, so I can have more of a real-time reaction. But I thought that the card that I ended up pulling today was actually like pretty interesting. And so let me pull this guy up. So that's your Eight of Wands. Okay, so now Eight of Wands is an action card. It has a lot to do with mental energy, exuberance, things that are taking flight, taking speed. I will say that a lot of people, and I noticed this in the collective today, is that, and maybe part of it is the weather as well, because things are warming up, and of course with that we get more energy. But it does speak to the way that our mental processes are moving. And right now we are all going through a lot, and I think we're getting to a point where we're starting to transition into more of an active mental processing space. And this is great, because this is good for creativity, this is good for productivity, and this is good for, making a plan in order to change things in your life, to simplify your life even. I know a lot of us are in a space where we are, of course, in transition, and this is a signal that you're going to get this energy coming in, and you're going to get a lot of different types of ideas coming in, and really you need to take advantage of them as soon as possible. Don't sit on it. Don't procrastinate. If you're a procrastinator, I know I am. Do not sit on this. If you're feeling inspired to do something today or even throughout this week, please do it, okay? The moon has moved into Scorpio, which has a ton of different elements to it. Today, when the moon is in Scorpio, a lot of times I tend to be on the moody side. You know, I'm a Scorpio rising and Black Moon Lilith, and I know that certain Scorpio placements can sometimes set me off. I'm doing okay, so I'm curious what that means. It has to really relate to the other placements where, you know, Mercury's station direct, Venus has station direct, or actually I think, is Mercury still in retrograde? I don't know, it's in and out every couple of months. Sometimes I lose track, but Venus has stationed retrograde back in Pisces. And so that is, that's a complicated one. Venus in Pisces is very much like, it can be both hopeful and nostalgic, right? So now, as Venus was retrograding in Aries, you know, I was feeling very aggressive and wanting to try and get my point across, you know, and try to make someone see some things that they didn't want to see. And I realized that there's nothing I can do to make them see that, you know, if all they can do is hold on to the anger of me attempting to talk to them and communicate with them and bring out what it is that I witnessed, or that what my experience with that person was, you know, there's nothing I can do about it. And I think all of us are going through that, right? So when Venus was in retrograde Aries, a lot of people have had some crazy stuff happen in their personal relationships. And, you know, when it's stationed direct in Pisces, it was like, okay. So that was a huge shit show. So now what do you do with it? Okay. We have lessons to learn. We have ideas about how we want to move forward. We have, all of us have amends to make. We've got things we need to do in order to improve our personal relationship with ourselves and our personal relationships with others. As a collective, my hope is that we are moving into more of a positive space, more of a productive space. And my hope is that we can really push the social justice platform. It's difficult because I want to kind of dive into politics a little bit, but I don't. I think all of us are already feeling the pinch, and there's a lot that I really don't need to say. But I just wanted to come on here and do this little quick video. I'll do a real podcast later where I'll dive into some serious astrology and we'll kind of see what's happening in the future. But I just wanted to pull the Eight of Wands today, and the card spoke to me, and I'm glad because it gives me hope that maybe I'll be motivated to kind of get back in there. You know, I've been in a depressive space for a few weeks, and as a lot of people are, and this is a great opportunity to get back out there and make some changes, and in a positive way, of course, you know. So some upcoming events. We still have the On the Fringe convention coming up, hosted by NorCal RNC, and this is going to be in Sacramento on April 26th. It'll be all day. It'll be fantabulous. And I'll be doing chair massages, and I was really hoping to also be doing some discussion panels, but I've had a hard time finding people who are interested in going on camera to discuss lifestyle and things like that. But you know, I think I might want to switch gears on that, and so I really want to talk about the female experience in the lifestyle. And if there are women out there who would like to chat, maybe women who either identify as polyamorous or you know, maybe just even as a swinger, I'm curious about what your experience is, and how do you use it as a form of empowerment, or, you know, that would be one discussion panel. And the other one, I would like to actually get a discussion panel of survivors of narcissistic abuse of all different levels. You know, you could have a survivor who's more at the covert level, because I personally have experienced a covert narcissist, and that was more recent. And then I've had malignant narcissists, and those are like your violent ones, and that was many years ago, but there's a lot to discuss there. And I'd like to get together some other people as well who have that experience, and maybe we can talk about it a little bit, and then maybe, you know, if we have a psychologist out there who can also help us mediate that discussion, that'd be fabulous. Other than that, my lunch break is just about over, so I have to go back to work, and I have to put it back on my, you know, therapist uniform and get back into therapist space. But I just wanted everybody to know there is hope. Okay, it's Sunday. The weather's beautiful. Please, 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 if you're feeling depressed, go outside. You don't have to talk to people. Just go outside. Find anything, some flowers to look at, a tree to sit under. If you live near the shore, go down to the beach, go down to a shoreline, or if you live near any kind of woods or a garden or anything, just spend 10 minutes, and I promise you it will help change your day. So anyway, that being said, I love you all, okay? And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at the convention. I will post the link below, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what's going to happen at the convention on my next podcast, okay? So everybody, have a happy Sunday. I love you all. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you all later.